here we go once again. Welcome out everybody to the Waterboyz Show, man. Episode 2, man. What's up, B Rich?
Man, what's up, man? Good to be here this morning, man, to film this second episode, man. Thank God for getting us up to do this.
Yes.
You ready to go?
Man, I'm ready to get right into it, man.
All right.
All right, so look, man. A lot of talk going around right now, especially, we Falcons fans. I mean, we've let it be known that we from Atlanta. We Falcons fans, so we hear a lot of chatter publicly, right here, locally, and we hear a lot of talk nationally about Justin Fields. I'm talking about a surrounding Atlanta area product, came from the area, went to the Chicago Bears, very electric player. A lot of conversation about where he's going to go in the future. Is he going to stay in Chicago, leave Chicago, man? Let's get into it. What you think, man?
Well, I like Justin Fields since he was at Georgia. I hate the chance he never got a chance to, show what he could do at Georgia. Justin Fields, man, it's interesting to me. Do I want him to be Atlanta Falcon? Yes, but at what cost? I don't want to give up the future for him. I don't think we should give multiple high draft picks for him. I can see us giving like a third, fourth round pick, but I think the Bears want a first or a second. And the second thing that bothers me is, he's a mobile quarterback. I like that a lot, but injury, that concerns me. Will he get injured? And we experienced a mobile quarterback with Michael Vick. In one season, he broke his leg or foot against the Baltimore Ravens.
Preseason at that.
Preseason. So the idea of Justin Fields, I think he can develop to become a great quarterback. That's still to be determined. But I did like what I saw from him at the end of the year last year. He really stepped up and won some games, especially when he played against the Falcons. I was really surprised. I was like, okay. And it's also stated that he may go to Pittsburgh.
I heard that.
But the funny thing about that is our ex-head coach, Arthur Smith?
Arthur Smith.
He's there, and from what I hear, Fields and Smith didn't want Justin Fields. That's why we didn't draft him.
Yeah, you talking Terry Fontenot, the GM.
Yeah. And we ended up getting Kyle Pitts. So
we did.
It would be interesting to see if he goes to Pittsburgh and knowing Smith didn't want him. And then it would be kind of ironic if he comes to the Falcons when we could have gotten him for free. But we have Pitts and Fields. It's interesting. I think Pitts was hurt all last year, from what I understand. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see.
Injuries.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that teams up. But what do you think, man? Like Fields to Atlanta, I think it could be good. I just don't want to give up a lot. I'm afraid of injury.
And so Justin Fields to Atlanta. I mean, okay, man, you got to give me a second to unpack this. You got to give me a second to unpack this bag, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I got a lot of clothes in this bag, man. I really need to unpack it. So let's talk about the first thing whenever you hear a quarterback like Justin Fields, and it's not so much about Justin Fields, who he is right now as Justin Fields. I'm going to talk about, like you said, the idea of Justin Fields. Justin Fields, extremely, extremely athletic quarterback, good arm, explosive runner, can get in and up out of that pocket, man. I've seen him break away. I think it was against the Dolphins 2 years ago. I think Justin Fields had like a 60 to 70-yard touchdown run. Next week, turned around and did it again, 60-some yards. So the athleticism, the way he can run, is like crazy. And I think anytime a quarterback that possesses those talents, anytime they get close to being able to be available, the first team that everybody brings up is the Atlanta Falcons. And why? I mean, rightfully so. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, to do it with his legs and his arm, in my opinion, is Michael Vick. So people want to relive or at least see something similar to that in Atlanta again. But, hey, just like, I can't remember who said that about the Celtics, but just like they said about old players not coming through that door, listen, Falcons fans and national media who wants to see the Michael Vick show again. Michael Vick is not coming through that door to quarterback the Falcons again. It's not going to happen. I don't care what quarterback you get. I don't care what kind of athleticism he has. He's not going to be Michael Vick. He's going to be his own quarterback. So let me just start there. And so the idea of Justin Fields, I think people want to see the same thing. Now, when we get to the actual quarterback in Justin Fields, now, has Justin Fields shown the development in his years in the NFL to really show that he can be a franchise quarterback. I mean, because that's what we're looking for. And like you said, giving up too much for Justin Fields, we'll have to possibly trade for him. I don't want to give up a first for him, even though I like Justin Fields. I like his talent. I like the possibility and the potential of what he can become. But I don't want to give up a first. I don't want to give up a second. To be honest, I don't even want to see the Falcons give up a third. And even more than that, Justin Fields is going on his 5th year option. So I don't know if some of y'all fans understand this. When you get to the 5th year option, you're going to get paid based on what some of the average is yearly for that position. Justin Fields being a quarterback, that payment for him and his 5th year option is going to be over 20 mil, probably over 25 mil. Have you as a Falcons fan thought this through? Have you come to the conclusion and seen enough from Justin Fields to say, right now, I'm talking about bringing him in, that he should be your quarterback for 20-something mil a year? That's the question. What you think about that?
I mean, that's pretty interesting. It's so much unproven with him. Now, I could see him being great, and I could see him coming in and being slightly better. For slightly better, no, I'd rather, go with the Russell Wilson, or draft a young quarterback and we have time to develop. But I like the notion of Russell Wilson coming to Atlanta because he's still going to be owed a lot of money from Denver, and we could get him for a decent contract. And, I mean, shit, he only threw, under 10 interceptions last year and over 20 touchdowns? I mean, I know it's a lot of, back and forth, with him and locker room issues.
Yeah.
But shit,
and Sean A-hole Payton. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, and I think he come to Atlanta. It could be good, but I think the only thing that he's gonna catch is the future.
The whole future stuff. Yeah.
He's gonna be playing future songs.
But,
but other than that, man, I think he can deal what he's been dealing with it all this time. But back to Justin Fields and what you're saying. It could be a high risk. It's not a low reward. It's high risk, high reward type of thing.
It could go either way.
Yeah, so it's definitely not a low risk, and it could be a high reward. So don't give up too much. Got to think about the money. We got to pay the quarterback anyway. And I think the best route I was thinking was Russell Wilson, but you're gonna have to pay a quarterback regardless. down the line.
Yeah, you definitely.
But I like the fact that what we're doing is building and having depth. And so I think the Falcons are going to have a lot of depth this year, and we're going to be able to go deep.
Yeah, so I mean, I like Fields, and so I'm going to let that be said. I like Fields. It's just the having to pay that money right now. If we were getting Fields,
I didn't know that,
if we were getting, his 5th year option is coming up. So not only do you have him, you have Kyle Pitts coming up for a 5th year option. So you have to make a decision on your number 4 draft pick. And I think I don't know exactly what Kyle Pitts would be getting for a 5th year option. I saw some people throw out some estimates, but any idiot can throw out something online. So I can't speak to those numbers like they're 100% accurate, but you're going to be paying him top money. He won't be making Ricky money either way you go about it. So you'll have your quarterback and your tight end. Now, if we had Fields and we still had about 2 to 3 more years to go before we had to pay that type of money, I'd say run it, get Fields, bring him in. Let's see how he develops. Let's see if these coaches, the new coaching staff, can get the most out of him. Let's see what Raheem Morris and his offensive coordinator, I can't remember the offensive coordinator's last name. I know his first name is Zach. I can't remember the last name, but we'll see what they can bring out of him. But having to go straight into 20-something mil, that's the part of it that scares me. Plus draft picks. I don't know about that. But you know who else they say might get him now? Now, they talking about the Steelers might bring him in.
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah. You were talking about how Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, Michael Vick not coming through that door. I don't know, man. Justin Fields kind of looks like he would be in that, man. That black and gold, that black and yellow. You know what I'm saying?
Black and yellow.
He kind of looked like he would be in that black and yellow, man. That would be interesting with Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is such an amazing coach. Now, Mike Tomlin won't be calling the plays for him. Like you said, Arthur Smith will be calling the plays, and which I actually think Arthur Smith is a decent offensive coordinator. But the Falcons passed on him, so clearly it was something that he didn't see in Justin Fields himself to make him want to go pound the table to his GM and everybody and say we need to draft Justin Fields. So it'll be interesting to see. They also say the Raiders. They also say Las Vegas might be trying to bring Justin Fields in. So it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. I think he has a promising career. I think if he really studies that playbook, really put in the work, and have a run second mentality, I think he gonna be special.
He talented now.
Yeah.
He talented, man. Shout out to Justin Fields.
Shout out
man.
to Justin
Local
Fields.
product. Wish he would have played with the Dogs.
Man.
I can't question Kirby because Kirby done brought home two of them things home.
Almost 3.
So I can't question him too much, but it would have been nice to see Justin Fields play a little bit more, man.
Yeah, for
man.
sure.
But, why we still on him? Because we still got a second. Do you think the Bears should keep him? Do you think the Bears should go ahead and draft a quarterback? Or do you think they should just stand pat, keep Justin Fields, and continue to build around him? Because we didn't talk about it from the Chicago Bears aspect.
All right, well, so from the Bears aspect, like they passed on Bryce Young last year. They had the first pick, and they traded it. And so Bryce Young, he didn't have a good first year as C.J. Stroud did. I think they were hoping that Bryce Young would.
He's going to have that type of impact in Carolina.
And so it's the book is still out on Bryce Young, which I think he's going to be fine. I just think he had an awful line and awful team.
Rookie quarterback too.
Exactly. But should they keep it? If I was the GM, I would trade the first pick. I think Justin Fields has the potential to be something special. I would get a quarterback coach if they don't have one. I get one of the best, to be there. And I don't know, I think maybe the players rallied around him last year.
They do, and the fans him.
And the fans like him. So just imagine what they already got a ton for last year's pick. What would they get this year? They would have so much depth. They would be set up for a long time to come with depth if they make the right draft picks. But the kid out of USC?
Yeah, it could be Caleb Williams or it could be the boy out of North Carolina, Drake May. A lot of people talking about him.
Yeah, I been hearing about Drake May, but Caleb Williams, he's going first. Man, the potential of him, could he be better than C.J. Stroud was? I think C.J. Stroud, man, he surprised a lot of people, man. So could Caleb Williams be that, or could he be Bryce Young? Because at the time, Bryce Young and Caleb Williams kind of in my eyes, very similar, but Caleb Williams had the most, he played for, offense that really opened up, and he just really showed out in that side. And then Bryce Young played against the toughest of the tough. So I don't know, man. That's an interesting question, but everybody's in love with the new.
Oh, the new shiny toy.
The new shiny toy. So,
every time.
So
my kids the same way.
So I think for public relations, I think they're probably going to trade Justin Fields, get the new shiny toy, and then make the fan base happy. But they're still good set up because they're still going to get picks.
Yeah, I think they ought to keep Justin Fields. If I was Chicago, I would keep him. I would go ahead and keep stacking them first-round draft picks, make that trade, get more first-round draft picks, and try to just continue to build your team up.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. So being a Falcon fan,
and
you're the Steelers GM, and you're open to trading the first pick.
You mean the Bears?
The Bears. Yeah. Would you, as a Falcon GM, trade up to get the first pick and give up your future?
No.
I agree. That's a lot. They want a lot. I think they want 3 first-round picks.
No, I'm not trading up to number one. No, I'm not doing it. If I can get somewhere in that 3 or 4. Wait, of course. This all depending on who you like. This all depending on who you believe in. I'm looking at it from my fans' lenses. I'm not looking at it from the research standpoint that some of these guys are looking at, the guys who get paid to do it. But me, just as with my fan goggles on, no, I wouldn't want to see them trade all the way up to the number 1 pick. Now, if they can get, because I actually like Michael Penix Jr. I know he had a tough game against Michigan. I like Michael Penix. I haven't seen enough of Drake May for me to have a positive or a negative opinion on him. I've seen Jaden Daniels, of course, with him being LSU, SEC. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he can play. He definitely has some athleticism. He can get in and out that pocket. The man can definitely take off. And Caleb Williams, man, I think Caleb Williams is taking a lot of heat, a lot of unwarranted hate right now. You know what I mean? It's funny how you go from sugar to ish real quick, and everybody talking about him. With LSU being the SEC, of course, I've seen Jaden Daniels play. I think Jaden Daniels definitely can play athletic quarterback, good arm, man. He can get in and out that pocket. Another one of those quarterbacks. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, you know. But with any quarterback, with any rookie quarterback, it's gonna be some ups. It's gonna be some downs. History has shown you're gonna have more downs than ups. I just hope whoever they go get, they go up and pick the right one.
Now, here's an interesting fact. You know, let's go back to the Michael Vick trade. When we traded to the #1 spot, Atlanta was excited. Let's think about this. When we traded our pick, San Diego ended up getting LaDainian Tomlinson, and with their second-round pick, with the first pick, they got Drew Brees. So what if we never would have traded up? Because I know the Falcons was looking at Drew Brees that year, and we end up trading Tim Dwight, you know, a couple picks, you know, first-round pick, and Drew Brees won a Super Bowl. Michael Vick, we lost the Michael Jordan of football for some dogfighting. So to rewind things, would you have made that trade now? So that's why I'm saying, do we trade up for the first pick after the experience giving up a lot of future? Because that kind of like set us back. But the excitement of Michael Vick at that time seemed like it was worth it. But looking at it, was it worth it?
I still would have.
Gotcha.
If I could go back in time, I still have made that trade.
Yeah.
Because if I can go back in time, knowing what I know now, and I can have a decision on what to go, then we're operating from the aspect of we can also change other things that we want, right? So I would go back in time, still pick Michael Vick, but I just wouldn't fire Dan Reeves. You know what I'm saying? I think Dan Reeves could have helped keep Michael Vick where he was going. I think Dan Reeves and his coaching staff would have helped develop Mike Vick a little more, or known how he knew how to use Vick.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to make Vick something that he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was taking Vick for what he was. Now, I love Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is one of the most amazing quarterbacks. And for me being a Falcons fan, saying that I have love for a Saints quarterback, that tells you everything you need to know about his talent.
Yes.
But was he that in San Diego? Was he that with the Chargers? I mean, he was good. He showed potential, but he wasn't the Super Bowl winning Drew Brees and the Hall of Fame Drew Brees that we saw when he got with Sean Payton. And as much as I think Sean Payton can come across arrogant, as much as I think he like to talk trash to Falcons players and Falcons fans, I have to give him respect as a play caller. I think the two of them together, Drew Brees and Sean Payton, helped make Drew Brees what he was and the Saints what they became. So would he have become that in Atlanta? I can't say it. So you know what, man? Give me Michael Vick. Give me the highlight still where he runs against the Vikings and two people run into each other. He scores a game-winning touchdown running in overtime and runs into the tunnel. Give me that. Give me going to Green Bay. First time Green Bay lost a playoff game in Green Bay, the Atlanta Falcons did it. Man, give me that, man. Give me that.
Don't you tell a story about the Eagles when he ran a touchdown and got hit by Brian Dawkins?
Oh, man. He want me to tell this story. Oh, Lord. So I'm going to try to tell it clean. And to my wife, my beautiful wife, please forgive me. I'm going to try to tell this clean. My kids won't listen to this. So on this particular day, the Falcons were playing the Eagles in the playoffs. We were playing them in Philadelphia, second round after we beat Green Bay. Now, I'm excited. I'm watching the game, but also at the same time, I got me, let's just say, some extracurricular festivities going on at my house. And so, I mean, use your imagination. Had a nice friend of the female persuasion there with me. And, you know, we were having fun during the course of the game. And as we're having fun, I look up and I see Michael Vick about to run a touchdown. And I'm in the middle of the festivities. And I just started going, go, Vick, go, Vick, go. He ran a touchdown. Then onto my Brian Dawkins, man. He came out of nowhere like a missile. Man, he hit Vick. And I thought Vick was dead. I said, no, he didn't kill Vick. And I just ended the festivities. I ended the festivities. I was being asked, what's my problem? I know you ain't going to choose sports over this particular activity. And I'm like, look at Michael Vick. He's damn near dead on the field. He's almost dead. I got to focus on this game. And so yes, that's how big of a sports fan I am. I still had the TV on, trying to do two things at once. And when Brian Dawkins almost killed Michael Vick in that game, I focused on nothing but the game. And my friend had to go on home, and I stayed watching the rest of the game. But I can't believe you brought that up, man.
You know what? Like, that's the second time I heard that story, and I believe it. The first time I didn't believe it, but he told the exact same way. So definitely, man, that really did happen, man.
Hey, man, it 100% happened, man.
I never forgot that story, man. I still remember. He's like, man, no, they just got killed. Man,
He almost killed.
So when you were saying that, I thought you was about to say that, you know, the Viking run and all that, man. I thought I was like,
oh no, I wasn't gonna bring that up. So I'm just telling my wife not to listen to episode 2. Yeah, she's gonna listen to 1 and 3.
Y'all, we got a segment where we do artists of the day, and so you know, if y'all have any suggestions, hit us up in the DM. If you have some dope artists that you want me and Trey to look at, DM us, let us know, and tell us a little about them, and send us like YouTube links, Instagram, TikTok, so we can check them out.
Quick thing to throw in there for those who may be listening on audio and haven't seen the video or don't know what our IG is. Let them know what the IG, Facebook, all that is. Be rich.
The IG for the Waterboyz Show is the THE Water WATER Boys BOYZ show. Sorry, SHOW. That's our Instagram. That's our YouTube. That's our TikTok. That's our Facebook. Make sure you follow us. My personal Instagram is at BRich404. That's BRICH404. What's yours?
Mine is at Treyboy Play. TREBOYPLAY.
Yes. So, man, this week's artist of the day, I discovered him from Tallahassee, Florida. He's a Florida boy, and I try to bring, you know, new artists to people. He's got a traction. He's got over like a couple 100,000 followers on Instagram, and he has a couple hot songs, man. His name is Tight, Tyte, and it's Slip and Slide's own artist, and Slip and Slide is making a real big comeback right now, and so I want y'all to check him out. Pretty dope artist, got that real Florida swag, that draw. That
I saw.
Yeah. So I think you'll like him. So Tight, man. Shout out to Tight, man. We'll put his Instagram up so y'all can see it. I don't remember it, but it's TYTE, and put Slip and Slide. Google him, he'll come up.
And same thing like I asked you in our previous episode about Lil Darius. Like, tell me some of his strengths. Tell me some of the things that really stand out to you about him as an artist.
Man, he's very charismatic. He kind of reminds me of the New Age Plies. He does like something on his Instagram where he holds a cup and he's just like talking shit, and it's just funny. It kind of reminds me of you in a sense on some of the charismatic, witty ways and kind of funny. And he just like
you on your way then, Tight. You on your way.
Yeah, man.
I'm just talking to you.
And he's just like real charismatic and just fun to watch. And now he got perms. He got the goals. Got the permanent
like, goals for all y'all who think he talking about hair. He talking about permanent goals.
He talked that shit, man. So y'all check him out, man. I like him a lot.
Well, you know, man, like every single state has their own swag, and when you showed me Tight, I could see the Florida in them all day, definitely, man. So shout out Florida State producing some really dope artists, man. So shout out to Tight, man. I'm looking forward to learning some more about it.
Shout out Slip and Slide. They're making a real big comeback.
Oh yeah. Man, so look, I love, being present. To know where we're going, we have to talk about the past and know the past. But it's always good to know where we want to go in the future. So this is what I want to discuss with you. Who does Be Rich see as becoming the future face of the NBA? Because LeBron's going to have to leave at some point. Steph is going to have to leave at some point. KD is going to have to leave at some point. All our stars that we really been watching over the last, how many years? 2019, however we can talk about from when LeBron came in to all the stars that's now from that time. A lot of the older stars who have been the faces of the NBA are getting ready to leave the NBA soon. Next about 5 years, they probably won't be in the league. Yeah. Who do you see being the future face of the NBA? If you had to put money on it.
But one interesting fact about this show is, like, when you bring up the topics, man, like, we really just bring them off the top of our head and we not have time to prepare. So, man, that's a great question, man. I got to really think about that. I want to say? Of course I want to say Trae Young, but I'm such a homer for that. And I kind of see, like, by his all-star snub in the beginning and his all-star minutes,
Boy.
He's not.
Who was the coach of the All-Star game?
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers. Now, you a former Hawk, so I won't say too much, but you should have gave Trey more minutes. Go ahead, B. Rich. My bad. My bad.
And so, you know, I can't say. I mean, I think Trey is going to be a future face of the NBA. But right now, to be fair to the other people, that's not a Hawk. Jalen Johnson, I think he's a future face of the NBA.
Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I really see
What?
something. I really see something in him. I really see him being
a future,
super,
the future face of the NBA.
One of them. I think he could really be something special, Trey. I see him. I see something in him, bro.
I like him and love him as a player too, but the future face.
Yeah, I was kind of being funny with the because I'm a Hawks fan, but I do see him being a superstar. But now let's think about it. I think the person that we drafted and we end up trading for Trae Young, I think Luka is the future face of the NBA.
They want him to be so bad.
They want him to be so
I
bad.
don't see it though.
I've been seeing some things, man. I see him, Trey. Like he really. I mean, I disagree. Like he really be balling.
Not the face.
So you're saying the
guy.
Oh,
I'm talking about the guy.
Face. Oh, I don't know, man.
I know that. I know they want him to be.
You know, it's supposed to be
who?
Zion. It's supposed to be him. It's supposed to be Morant, but Morant and Zion has injury problems. Morant, he got mental problems. Man, that's a great question. In the comment, tell me who y'all think. Why I'm thinking of this. Who you think, Trey?
Who do I think? Now, I'm gonna bring it back home once more. Except when I bring it home this time, a Hawks jersey is not involved. I think.
Oh wow.
I think if his team wins and he continues with the progression that he's on right now, hey man, you got to give it to Ant-Man.
Anthony Edwards.
Man, they are comparing this man to a young Michael Jordan. They are saying we are watching Jordan in 84, 86, 88. This is the type of things that are being said nationally about Ant-Man right now. And they just strictly talking about the athleticism that you're seeing. Like we have so many athletic players in the league. But sometimes it looks like Ant-Man, even with all this dominant athleticism, and it's through the roof from the type of stuff I grew up watching. Yeah. But even then, Ant-Man is starting to look like he's on another level. Like, you know how Russell Westbrook athletically, I'm just speaking athletically. Yeah. Russell Westbrook used to look like he was just on another level athletically. LeBron James used to look like Derrick Rose. They used to look like they on another level athletically. You know what I mean? And LeBron's so big, sometimes people don't see it that way, but I'm talking about just dominant athletically. I think Ant-Man, man, he really like Ant-Man can shoot it from the three. Ant-Man can take you off the dribble. Ant-Man can play defense. I love his personality. Like we have to throw that in there as well. You have to throw the personality in there as well. He has plenty of personality. Now, of course, you know, we have Giannis. We have the Joker. I don't think the Joker wants to be a future face of the NBA. I think the Joker wants to play, and then after he wins, I think he want to go back to his country and just chill out with his fam and just be him. But who do I see having the charisma, having that real charismatic type of personality and the play to back it up, and all he has to do is to get the winning to go with that? I think Anthony Edwards is headed towards being the future face of the NBA. But if we had to say three, who else would you put in there? I know Anthony Edwards would at least be one of them.
Man, you know what, Trey? You talking about this kid, and ever since you told me about him, I've been paying attention. You're going to have to say his name for me, but the kid out of Oklahoma.
The kid out of Oklahoma. Oh, talking about Shai Gilgeous. Shai Gill.
What's his whole name?
Shai Gill Alexander, the point guard, right? That's you talking about? Talking about Shai Gilgeous Alexander, right? The point guard he got drafted by the Clippers and then he got traded to Oklahoma. That's what you talking about, right?
I think so. I think that's him. I got it.
Why you gonna ask me to say his name and then now you telling me? No, you got me second guessing it.
I think that's his name.
Man, you got to be talking about him. You got to be talking about him, man.
Any balling doing some good shit?
Man, look, that is one MVP, man. You got me
that's
second.
What I'm talking about.
You got me second guessing. I'm over here like,
they
Oklahoma,
say
man. Who am I thinking about?
They say he's in contention for MVP this year.
Okay, man, you almost threw me off.
Alexander, right? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I ain't talking about Alexander Graham Bell.
I'm not talking about Alexander the Great. But that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, that guy, I watched him play, and I remember when him and Trey played last year, I was like, Trey better than him, Trey better than him. He's like, man, hell no, I'd rather have him. I was like, over Trey? I remember you told me that shit. I was like, hell no.
Yeah, I did say that.
And so.
And I'm not a Trey Young hater, y'all. I love Trey Young.
Yeah, so I've been paying attention because I didn't agree. And he's making a name for himself. But I don't know if he's the face. I still think what they're going to do is make Luka the face. Anthony Edwards, man, I think he's in a small market. I think if he plays something like for the Lakers, the Heat, New York, Boston, I think he got a real good chance of doing that. But look, we're going to see. We're going to see. You think Zion could make a comeback?
I mean, if he stay healthy. But I'm going to say it, man. Y'all can call me a hater all you want. I respect Luka. I think Luka's dope. But Luka not going to be the face of the NBA. He ain't got it. He can play. He can ball. He ain't got it to be the face. Y'all want him to be. I get it. The league, y'all probably want to be. I don't see it. I don't see it. Of course, winning has to come along with it. I just don't see him being the face. I don't see him being the. I can see now you have multiple faces of the NBA, just like you have LeBron and you have Steph. So from that aspect, I'm sure somebody will probably tell me that I'm stupid, I'm tripping, because he definitely can be up there as like a top 3, top 5. I think he's already one of the top players.
But I will say this: you want to see him play.
You do.
You definitely want to see.
I mean, he can ball. I'm not hating. Like I said, I'm talking about the entire package.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I spoke on it earlier. Do you think Trey Young could be the face of the NBA?
No, I don't.
Gotcha. I think because of his height. I think because of his height, his physical attribute. I think he has the talent and the skills, just too small, man.
Yeah, I think the height gets held against him, and I think like we see the way he's getting. I wasn't even gonna bring up defense. I see the way he's being perceived by his peers or by coaches, and I think it's unwarranted. I mean, the fact that you have to put Trey Young in the All-Star game because somebody got hurt when Trey Young is averaging what he's averaging points-wise, when he's averaging what he's averaging as assists, he's clearly the best player on the team. No, the Hawks might not be winning right now, might not have a winning record, but, I mean, look at what he's doing out there on the court. And so we already see where it's going. So that's where I'm speaking from. I already see what the perception is on Trey Young. No, I don't think he could be a future face of the NBA. Do I think he could be a champion? Now, that's a whole nother conversation. I do think Trey Young could be a champion.
Yeah, I
do think he could bring a championship, if not here in Atlanta, because I don't think if Trey doesn't bring a championship to Atlanta, I won't put it on him. I'll put it more on ownership and just the ways that they are mishandling the entire situation. But I see him being a champion. I do see him being a leader. I see him continuing to break records when it comes to assists and point score. I see him as being one of the best point guards to ever play. But I don't think he could be the future face of the NBA for all the I think the perception on him is not a good perception. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
So everyone, do us a favor. This is a great topic. Y'all leave your comments, man. Share who you think could be the face of the NBA, and I want to read them, and we'll talk about it on the next segment.
And it ain't gonna be Luka. And yeah, I'm rolling with Trey over Luka. Say whatever you want, but nah, Luka he can play, but he ain't gonna be the face.
Yeah. NBA 2K the cover, kind of.
I mean, well, he was on the cover because I don't play 2K.
Yeah. I think Luka was on the cover.
Man, well, shout out to Luka, man. Way to go, man. You the face of NBA 2K. Way to go. You're not gonna be the face of the NBA though.
Nah, for sure.
Nah, not over Joker. I mean, Joker will be that before Luka. We came to entertain. Hey, man, whenever you hear that, you know it's the entertainment segment, man. Come on, man. Let's step away from sports a little bit because, we all about sports and entertainment, man. What you want to talk about today? But you had something interesting you wanted to bring up, man.
Yeah, man. So today's topic I want to bring up, it's a couple weeks old. The what happened, but Tia Kemp, that's Rick Ross's baby mama.
Okay.
She
hold on. Rick Ross dating one of Brian Kemp's daughters.
Nah, man, nah. It's not. Brian Kemp is the governor of Georgia. No, this is a lady.
Well, Rick Ross like that white meat.
Well, she's some dark meat. So Tia Kemp, man, is Rick Ross' baby mama, and she's kind of like making a name for herself, just kind of like going in, exposing, talking shit. She actually broke an artist. She broke Boss Man D-Lo. Okay. And how she did it was she was on her live, and she was listening to the song, and the song caught. And it's like one of the hottest songs that's out, man. And I guess since the time she broke it and whatever, I guess he wanted to have her in the video, but then he didn't put her in the video because he didn't want to be blackballed by Rick Ross. And then I guess she wanted some bread. I guess she wanted a lot of bread. And so Boss Man D-Lo decided not to give her bread. And so you can kind of Google it, Tia Kemp, Boss Man D-Lo. But what she did next is my question to you is his career over? It seems like to me he went from sugar to shit within a month, 2 months.
I mean, what happened?
All right, so once it was agreed not to pay her, she had some pictures of him and some videos of him that were really bad. So she
Hold on. You mean like some exposure type of thing?
so she exposed Boss Man D-Lo.
Okay.
And
Cause you know I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I don't know about this type of stuff.
So coming out of fuck it, I'ma say it. She exposed him, said he had a shrimp, showed the picture, and from what I understand, he really had a shrimp. And so, and from what he tweeted, he's like, I may got a shrimp, but I got some long money, and we winning. So he kind of admitted to having a shrimp and said he got long money, and it don't matter, so he's making up for it. And so the other exposure that was happening, and it's a video out, he kind of had his buttocks in the air, getting ate out by a woman, man.
Somebody,
He had his ass in there getting ate
a
by
young lady eating groceries.
Yeah. So my question to you and to the people out there in the completely comments, has he gone from sugar to shit, and can he come back and bounce back from this?
Hey man, this took a this took a tooted up turn that I did not expect.
Tooted and booted, as Ty Dolla $ign would say.
Hey man. So, all right, let me. I can't stop laughing, man. Let me unpack this situation, man.
And I think you got to
unpack. Oh Lord. Okay. All right. This took a tooted up turn that I did not expect. Okay. So what's being alleged is that Boss Man D-Lo. All right, gotta get the name right. Boss Man D-Lo. He had an agreement with this young Tia Kemp, right?
Well, I don't know if he had an agreement, but she broke the song, and then he wanted to have her in the video, and then didn't put her in the video because, from what I read, that he didn't want to get blackballed by Rick Ross. So it came to pass that she wanted some money after this. I don't know what the amount was, but she didn't get paid. And when she didn't get paid, all this stuff came out on Boss Man D-Lo.
Well, I'll say this. If there was an agreement, I'm going to talk about it from two ways. If there was an agreement, if she said, hey, I like this song, I can help break your song.
She broke it.
I can just shoot me some bread, though. And then he decided not to pay her. I mean, all's fair in war, man. Because if you agree to pay somebody and you don't pay them, and it might be some stuff out there about you, you got to pay that bread.
Well, we don't know if it was an agreement, but he still should have.
That's why I say I'm going to talk about it from both ways. Now, if there was no agreement, if she just did this because she been playing it, and then now all of a sudden you come to me later, now you trying to strong arm me, now you trying to extort me because you say you can find whatever pictures you feel like you got. Like, nah, man, I feel like that man did like he ain't need to pay her. Like, you had nobody sitting there extorting you because if she going to do it then, she going to do it again. And then I don't think his career going to end because of that. So what? As long as he keep dropping heat, now, I mean, it's probably some things you can't come back from, some things that I won't necessarily get into it, on our podcast because we don't need anybody trying to shut us down. You know what I mean? We don't need anybody from any communities trying to shut us down. But it may be one or two things that it'd be hard to come back from in hip-hop, but I feel like for the most part, man, as long as you keep dropping heat. And then he went up and said, from what you told me, he said, yeah, so what? My money long. So he sat there and accepted it. And now he's going along with it. And guess what? He going to keep rolling. He just need to keep dropping heat. And hopefully he don't have no more stuff out there about him. Yeah. And just keep going, man. But this what we run into. This the day and age we in. I mean, we see this type of stuff all the time. We won't get into any type of situation, but we see where artists get extorted or people try to extort artists, whether they make things up or whether it's true. Yeah. We see it all the time. So, like, artists, like, I'm telling you, man, I know you think it might be cool out there to be getting pictures taken of yourself and doing videos and doing this, and that. Like, once it's out there, it's out there, man. Don't have nothing out there, because some kind of way somebody's gonna find it to use it against you, whether they're in a position where you've done something wrong to them, or whether you're in a position where you haven't done anything to them. Like, just be careful, man, because people, they want to ruin you. They want to make money off of your success. They want to make money off of your success. So, man, just be careful. Don't have no foolishness out there. Don't be sending no naked pics to no female. And definitely, I mean, if that's what you like behind closed doors, so what? You do what you do. You go ahead. You do what you do.
Speaking of naked pictures, I don't know why this popped in my head, but since it's a sports show, it still trips me out that when Brett Favre was with the Jets, they said he was sending pics of his tallywhacker to people, man. I'm like, what? Brett Favre?
Hey, man.
What you doing, Brett? But they ain't really talking about that. They kind of nipped that in the bud, man.
And I bet his caption or his text to the chick was, they told you I was a gunslinger. Check out my gunslinger.
You know, he loved to throw a lot of interceptions,
too. Hey, man. Brett Favre, you know what? They didn't talk about that. Brett Favre was out there, man. Was Brett still married at the time?
I don't know, man.
Brett
but
Favre
they nipped that in the bud,
pics, man. He was out there
but
just...
what if that would have been Russell Wilson?
Oh, man. Dog, it would have been over.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been over. Yeah. I mean, we can get into the difference between black athletes and white athletes, or black celebrities and white celebrities, but you know, you're right. They did not really go in on Brett Favre about it. But man, also, this a day and time now. That was how many years ago? That was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When that happened. So now, man, with the way TikTok and Instagram and the way things are circulated on the net now, who knows? It may have lived a lot longer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But hey, man, if Boss Man is just getting extorted, I hope that he bounce back. I hope that he's okay. I hope that he keep putting out dope music. Don't let nobody extort you. Take your career. Take what you work hard for. Now, if y'all did have an agreement, with that young lady, pay her that bread,
pay her the bread, bro.
Pay that bread.
Would you still pay her now after all this happened? I think that kind of like, to me.
That might look bad because she could put out there, see, I told y'all, see, fine and pay my money. I don't know. But if you owe somebody money, in this industry, somebody's helping you, they're trying to help you blow up or do whatever, and you agree to pay them their money. End of story. Pay them the money. This not the street where you feel like she a female, what's she gonna do to me? Well, it's a lot they can put out there to do to you. It's a lot.
I want to bring up something else, man, another topic that I like to talk about. You know, I kind of seen you grow up, you know, from being your manager as an artist, then to me and you managing an artist together.
A couple of them.
Yeah, a couple of artists together. My thing is, we always had a difference in opinion on things because I've always thought like an executive. And when you became into management, you start thinking about like an artist. And you would think about the artist side of the aspect of things. And we bump heads on that. So I want to discuss that and talk about that and like help people to understand the viewpoints of coming from both sides. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and he gonna disagree, but that was B Rich's way to insult me. Like B Rich used to try to use that as an insult towards me every time. Whenever he would get frustrated with me, if I didn't agree with something he said, he would say, "Man, you thinking like an artist." It was an insult from his point of view. But that's what he tried. But you know, we rise up. We rise up. We rise above the negativity, y'all. But yes, I mean. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. How do you want to get into it? What you want to talk about?
It wasn't an insult from my part. That wasn't my intentions.
Cap.
It just was really
Capitan.
how I felt. And you're a king, Captain Crunch. So let's talk about it.
Cap gun.
It would be some things like I would like for us to protect it. Go ahead, keep going. What other caps?
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Capper.
Cap goals.
Cap goals.
The capper.
Cap gun.
The capper.
If any of y'all had any more caps, please put in the comments. We'll read it. I've lost my train of thought now. But anyway, it was some things like me as a manager would always want to protect ourselves from. Like I like to put things in contract to like protect us if the artist was on some fuck shit. But like,
what type of things?
Like, you know, things to protect us from getting fired, things to protect us in a sunset clause, you know, percentages and things of that nature. I can't really remember some of the points that we did, but I know that looking back at things, you always wanted to favor the artist, and I always wanted to favor us. And so I feel like as an executive, you should always protect yourself, because artists, we depend on our income from another person. If they don't feel like waking up and going to perform, or they want to give back a endorsement check, that affects us tremendously.
Who put you in that position?
A couple of artists done that.
No. Who put you in a position to decide to put yourself in that position?
I put myself in that position to manage an artist, but at the end of the day, I still want to protect myself.
You have to.
Yeah. That I'm putting myself in that position. I love music. I love working with people. So, it's my job to pick the right people to work with and people that aren't going to quit on me. So that's what I chose to do. But at the same time, I'm still going to protect myself in my best interest by putting things in contracts, so if I do get fired, there is a sunset clause to where I can still make income while I'm trying to, pick up the pieces and see where I'm going to go. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
and
yeah,
so
100%.
It's just my experience through the years, artists, it's no guarantee that they're going to always see your vision or y'all are going to be on the same page. So in the beginning, when everything is going great, you have to have that uncomfortable conversation and get the business clear of what you want and what they want. And I definitely want it to be fair. I'm not trying to take advantage, and I don't want them to take advantage of me, but I'm not going, like, for instance, like now I would do things differently. If I'm in a studio helping an artist come up with something and it's 2%, 5% that I may have come up, I'm going to take the 5%, 2%.
You should.
Yeah, but I didn't before because, I was just, hey, we're going to rock forever, this or that. It's not like that. No. So from this day forth, business is business, and we friends. Just keep it like that. Well, I mean, I feel like the artists that I work with, we're not friends, but we have a family environment where we're together. Either. All right, he's just gonna keep killing my thoughts and my process.
I'm just trying to bring
it's
you
not,
to
a
realization.
You know what? It's not that, but it feels like that when you're out there on the road.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Let's talk about it.
That's one of the problems. So. I've always wanted to make things fair for both sides. I feel like it can be fair for both sides. I think what happens is this. I think that from the management side, I think that because I did manage, I happen to know both of the artists that I helped manage before I managed them, right? So it's not like I ran into a stranger, but I think a lot of times you see an artist or you hear a song or you see a movement and you see something that could work. You see something, you have a vision for how it could work and how a lot of people can probably gravitate to it and how I can help this person get to this certain status, man. We can really be successful together. But see, this is the problem. Yeah, that's an artist, but before that, that's a person. People are flawed. 9 out of 10 people are going to be flawed. So 9 out of 10 artists you meet are going to be flawed, if not a bigger number. So here we are. We meet an artist. We believe in their song. We believe in what they moving. And we decide to get involved with them for whatever the percentage is, whether it's 10, 20, you do 30, and then you decide to get in and do business, and we think it's going to be a friendship. We think it's going to be a family. We think they're going to come in with the same integrity that we are without even vetting this person to see what type of person they are, without even seeing what type of demons they may have, without even seeing what type of insecurities they may have, what type of work ethic they have. And so we put ourselves in these positions, and then they end up showing us that they human, just like everybody else, that they got demons, that they not right, they got people who not right, they let people get in their ear, and then they move on. And then from that point on, now you're hurt. Now you've been scorned. Now you've seen that the stove is hot. And so now you come in and now you approach other artists with the same mentality. But then now you might run across an artist who will do everything right. But now you want to instantly put yourself in an even better position than that particular artist. And I'm talking about managers and people in the music industry, period. I'm not just talking about you specifically. But that is what happens. Instead of looking at it from an aspect of, hey, and it takes time to learn this. Looking at it from, hey, why don't I figure out a way to do a business with this particular artist? Why don't I figure out a way where we can go into a partnership? Because what's going to happen when you go into a management situation with an artist, everything with their life, they're going to call you. Their lights get cut off, they're going to call you. they get into a situation, get hurt, they gonna call you. They get ready to have a baby, they gonna call you. They mama going through something, they gonna call you. They feel like recording, they gonna call you. They don't feel like recording, they not gonna call you. Probably won't pick up your phone, but then when they finally talk to you again, they gonna call you and tell you how I just been missing in action. And so in management, we put ourselves in these situations, and the only thing I used to try to get you to see is that, like, the artist needs to be taken into account on how they feel as well. I never tried to make an artist make more money than us, but I never tried to take more from them than we should take from them.
And I never have either.
Because I understand that's the position that we putting ourselves in. And let me just say this to all up and coming managers out there. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, just from my perspective. Being a manager is one of the toughest jobs that you can put yourself in the music industry. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's as simple as this. Because you have 100% of the responsibility, but you have 0% of the control. When your artist wants the label to do something, who they gonna call? Ring. Hey, manager, I need you to get the label to do something. When the label needs the artist to do something, ring. Hey, Mr. Manager, why your artist not doing this? When the artist is going good, they might dap you up. They might even give you an hour-long conversation and say, bro, you helped change my life. But the minute it goes bad, you're going to get text and you're going to get called and you're going to get cussed out from both sides. But guess what? At any given time, you had all that responsibility, but this is how you have 0% of the control. They can wake up tomorrow and say, it's all over. I want to spend the rest of my time drinking tea in Tijuana, and I don't want to do no more music. And then you out in the dark. So you need to figure out a way to put yourself in a position to where you can have more of the control. Because until that happens, artists are human, managers are human, and human beings are flawed.
Yeah, one thing I heard my boy J.R. Mackey say, he's like, take your music money and invest. And, you know, I've taken my music money and I've invested in properties and real estate, and that's kind of kept me afloat to this day. So I'm thankful that I do that. So when you make your money in music, take it, invest it, and, you know, do something smart with it. So, you know, when it does dry up, you'll have something to fall back on, other businesses, other properties, other assets.
Yeah, I mean, and to you artists out there, treat your team right. You know what I mean? Treat your team right. I'm not going to act like every artist is perfect. I'm not going to act like I was perfect back when I was an artist, because, like, as an artist, you're making the music. These things are like your children. Each song, you viewing it from a standpoint that management not viewing it from, because you're invested emotionally. You're invested, sometimes people say spiritually. You're invested creatively in a way that the execs not invested. And so, but still, artists, like, you want to be respected, but make sure you respect. Make sure you go into these situations with honor. Make sure you treat the management right. If you got a good manager who doing what they supposed to do, and realize it's not the manager's job to do every last thing for you. It's not the manager's job to wake you up and drag you everywhere you need to go. It's not the manager's job to make you go to the studio, to make you record, to make you understand, to make you learn the business, to make you actually perfect your show and put this time in, to actually take this craft of yours serious. And managers out there, if you're going to take on the role of being more invested in this artist's life, if you're going to start helping them pay for every last thing, realize that's not your job. But if it is your job, if you want to make it your job, if you make it your responsibility, put yourself in a position to where you can get compensated fairly for it. That way, everybody can eat, everybody can be happy.
I agree.
And now it's time for me to say, what is the album of the day?
Hey, man, he said something last week, birds and cuss words. We're going to have to do something with that.
Yeah, man, birds and cuss words.
So y'all stay on the lookout for that. Yeah, man, so album of the day also comes from the artist of the day, Tight. He has an album coming out real soon. I've had the chance to hear some of it, and some of the stuff is out. It's called Culture Florida. And I like the name. I suggested, hey, you should get Dion on there, doing some clips or some skits on there.
Okay.
But yeah, man, Tight. It's pretty refreshing sound. The Florida sound puts you in the mind of Plies. Not saying that it sounds like Plies, but kind of like that feel.
A little bit. Yeah,
Trick Daddy, that Florida. Like, yeah. So he got a song called "Take the Rub Off."
Oh.
and it's kind of going viral now. and he got a lot of interesting topics they talk. But he can rap his ass off. So y'all get a chance, man, when it comes out, man. Y'all support Tight, Coach of Florida. Got some good features on there. Take the time, check it out.
Hey, man, well, I'll give it a listen. I definitely check it out. You know, anytime you turn on new music, especially if it's somebody you believe in, I definitely give it a listen, man. Tight, man.
And to all our viewers out there, if you have any albums that you want us to talk about or think we should discuss, man, please DM us, let us know.
Yeah, man. And look, before we go, man, because we getting ready to shut this thing down, man, the Waterboyz Show getting ready to end. Man, we coming off the heels of Super Bowl and All-Star Weekend, so it's not a whole lot of sports going on right now. We had a few games in the NBA, so it's no one I can really discuss right now, man, who really stood out. So I do want to give a shout-out musically, man. This Ballin' on the 30th floor goes to the one and only, man. I'm talking about the queen, man, the biggest artist. I'm talking about the biggest artist in the world. Beyoncé, man. Yes, I'm going to give it up to Beyoncé. You want to know why? Because here she is as a black woman and winning the country. Them folks didn't want to see her do that. Man, somebody, I can't forget, I guess it was the guy from Dukes of Hazzard, man, said she was something like a dog or said something about her negative like that. Well, guess what, Mr. Dukes of Hazzard? She still did it. Still came home with something number one, and she's still out there doing her thing. So, Beyoncé, we got to give you a shout out. We got to give you a big salute because we know them country folks mad. Beyoncé, you, ma'am, are balling on the 30th floor. Take that, Dukes of Hazzard.
Hey, I used to like Dukes of Hazzard.
I don't like it no more. Take that.